Okay, and we're going to go over race wars. Race wars. And the prison system is one of the biggest places for racial warfare. And this started, well, of course, it's always been there in any prison. But in the context of modern day America, this started back primarily at a time in the mid-70s. And race wars have been artificially created in many scenarios. Now, this is an article from Mae Brussell. Another turning point in Mae's research occurred when she attended the trial of Hugo Pinel, who had been charged with killing a Soledad prison guard. A public defender was assigned on Friday and to begin the case on Monday, and none of the witnesses could appear. The whole trial was rigged, and I was just outraged. It was then that I decided not to only study who killed It was then that I decided not only to study who killed John Kennedy, but also to find the relationship between the corruption of the courts, political prisoners in the country, and the political assassinations and conspiracies. When you think of Hitler, you think of prisons like Auschwitz and Dachau. And when I thought of the killing of Kennedy and all the Nazis involved, I realized that the prison system had to be directly related to it. You know, that's a really good point. Now you got to think about you got to think about the I'm trying to think, what was the story? Chucky Williams with Arnold Schwarzenegger, he became he was no longer really a gang leader. He was a child book writer. I'm sure he's still associated with his gang after all he was in prison. But he started writing reports to help people reform their life. And sadly, they still executed him, even though he became a political symbol and they executed him. Okay, so I'm going to stop there. And that's when I began to correspond with prisoners and make friends with them and get more information about prison deaths and mind control experiments. I found there were incidents identical to what occurred in Nazi Germany when the innocent were locked up and killed and guilty. And Mae Brussell made a lot of reports on the Soledad brothers and what was going on in the 70s, like with Geronimo Pratt. And so a lot of violence, going back to what I was saying, in the prison system in California, a lot of violence was artificially created and inseminated in the prison system. So instead of the culture of the convicts lashing out on the political representation over them or lashing out on the prison system, the politics of the prison system, the prisoners turn on each other. The prisoners are killing each other. And the system's making money off it. They look at all that fear that they can create. They make all that fear, then they have the media promote it. The San Quentin Six. This is it right here. This is the interview, Conspiracies in Prisons and the Trial of the San Quentin Six. I want to put a link up for this. If you want to know about the artificial insemination of race wars within the prison system and what was going on back in the 70s, you have to check this out.